Welcome to day 5 of my 5-day Spanish guitar challenge. Day 5. That's the last day. You made it through the song yesterday. Is it perfect? Probably not. Are you still fumbling in spots? Yeah, most likely. And that's exactly where you should be after 4 days. Today, we're going to smooth out those rough edges. And we're going to add some musicality. And I'll talk about how to keep growing from here. Because the real question isn't whether you can play this piece. You've already proven that. The question is, what's next? Let's polish this up. First thing, let's make sure you're comfortable. Take a moment to check your sitting position. Your guitar should just rest naturally on your lap, and your leg should be without having to hold it up. I have a little stool on the bottom here that helps me, but people like to put one foot on top of the other. If you're straining to keep your guitar in position, everything else is going to tense up, and you don't want that. You want to be settled and relaxed and have your hands feel like they're just going to put in just the amount of energy you need to play what you need to play. Now, here's something I see all the time with new players. They stare at their hands while they're playing the entire time. I get it. You want to make sure your fingers are in the right place. But here's the thing. When you perform for your spouse or someone else in your living room, you don't want to look like you're terrified of your own hands. Try this. Play through the piece once while looking at your hands, okay? Now, play it again, and this time, let your eyes drift up. Look at the wall. Look at nothing in particular. You might make a mistake. That's okay. The point is to start trusting your hands to know where they're going. And when you do make a mistake, and you will, we all do, here's the golden rule. Keep going. Don't stop. Don't apologize. Don't restart. Real musicians make mistakes all the time. The difference is they recover gracefully and they keep playing. The audience usually doesn't even notice. But if you stop and say, oops, and start over, now everyone knows something went wrong. Just keep the rhythm going. Even if you completely miss a chord, keep that rhythm and hand moving and jump back to the next chord. That's what professionals do. One thing about confidence. Breathe. I know that sounds obvious, but I've watched students hold their breath for entire sections of a song. And you can't play music while you're holding your breath. You can't play relaxed. Your body tenses up. Your hands get stiff. It all falls apart. Try to breathe naturally. Let your shoulders drop. If you feel a little stressed, just shake it off and relax. Now, let's talk about making this piece your own. Right now, you're probably playing it very carefully. Every note, the same volume, same timing, very mechanical. That's normal. And you're just learning, but the music isn't mechanical. Let me show you something. Now, watch this. Here's the difference. I played the exact same chords, but one sounds kind of live and the other sounds kind of mechanical, robotic. The difference is dynamics. I'm playing some a little softer, a little louder, and to do that, you have to kind of relax. Start off trying this idea with the rhythm. Notice where the beats are, the 1 and the 3, and a little bit more emphasis on those, so make them a little louder. And then as you play the chords, try to play a little louder and a little softer. Do some experimenting. You don't have to make huge changes. Just a little variation in rhythm helps it sound more musical. Same thing with the finger-picking section. Those few notes, play them gently, almost like you're whispering, and let them breathe. Then bring up the volume a little and move into a fuller chord. Now, tempo. In the last video, I told you to try to work to getting an even tempo, and that's part of your practice, to get control. But eventually, you want to be able to change tempo a little, slow down, speed up a little. You want to feel like there's an arc to the piece. It gets a little more intense and then relax a little. A good place to retard or slow down is towards the ends of sections, and especially at the end of the tune. This helps the music breathe and feel more natural. Here's an example. I'm at the very end of the piece. I'm going to use a technique called retardando. That means slowing down. So I'm playing, going from the G minor to the D minor. Right? You feel that? It's more human. You're not a metronome, and you don't want to play like one. Another thing you can do is let some of the notes ring longer than others. When you play a particularly beautiful chord, let it sustain a little more. Don't rush into the next thing. Give it space. Music lives in space between the notes. You've probably heard that before. It's not just the notes themselves. Now, here's the most important thing I can tell you about expression. This is your interpretation. There's no single right way to play this. Two people can play the exact same notes, and it sounds different because they're different people and they're using different feelings. That's not a bug. That's what makes music beautiful. So experiment. Try playing it a little faster, a little slower. Try emphasizing different parts. See what feels natural to you. The goal isn't to copy me exactly, but to find your own voice in the piece. Here's a couple of fixes that you're very likely to need. The most common problem areas. I've taught hundreds of students, and I know exactly where people struggle. The problem area number one is rushing the rhythm section. The fix? Tap your foot. Try to keep a steady pulse with your foot, and then make your hands, or try to align your hands with that pulse of your foot. Problem area number two is lifting all your fingers off when you don't need to, when you can keep an anchor finger down and just move the other fingers the least distance necessary. So here's an example. With the D minor chord, you can take all your fingers off and then put them back onto the C chord. Now this takes extra time and it's more likely you'll fumble finding your places. But if you keep your ring finger down as an anchor finger and just move your index and your middle finger over, not only do you only have to move two fingers, but that ring finger helps you gauge the distance that you need to move, and it's much cleaner and smoother. Always practice these movements slowly and find the most efficient path to move from one chord to another. Problem areas 3 and 4. Tension in the fingerpicking hand and playing mechanically instead of musically. These are the kinds of details that separate beginners from confident players. They take ongoing practice and feedback. I encourage you to play through the piece again and think about these things that I just talked about. Think about staying relaxed, efficient finger movement, and adding dynamics, and not rushing, of course. Try to make a note on the areas you want to work on more and just make time and work on them individually. Then put it all back together again. So now you've got the tools to make this piece sound really good. The question I know you're thinking about is what comes next? Let's talk about your options. You basically have 3 options to choose from. Option 1, figure it out yourself. I know this option well. You got YouTube videos I didn't back then, random tabs, trial and error. It's slow, frustrating, and many people quit. Too much information, no clear path. Believe me, I've been there. Option 2, find a local teacher. Maybe $40 to $60 per lesson for a real teacher, a good teacher. Now you've got scheduling issues, and of course there are very few people that actually specialize in teaching Spanish guitar for mature adults. Option 3, a proven system built specifically for adults learning Spanish guitar. Structured progression, support when you're stuck, go at your own pace. That's what I built. The program is called Spanish Guitar for Mature Hands. It's designed from the ground up for adult learners. Here's what makes it different. Every lesson I've designed with mature hands in mind. No assumptions about speed or dexterity. They're smart, efficient techniques that work with your hands that you have right now. You learn complete, beautiful pieces, not just a bunch of exercises. Just like this challenge, every piece is something you'd actually want to play for people. You're building a real repertoire. The progression is structured. Each piece builds on the techniques from the previous one. You always know what comes next and why. The program has 6 modules, and they're built progressively. You can start with foundations, then learn complete pieces, then move into the rumba, flamenco strum, that's the Gypsy King style thing. Later modules, I'll teach thumb technique, improvisation, and putting everything together with beautiful songs. Now, here's the important part. Spanish Guitar for Mature Hands is part of a larger membership called Real Guitar Success. Why does this matter? Because when you hit a tricky chord change, or you need help with bar chords or music theory, those courses are already there in the membership. You're not hunting around YouTube, and you can ask questions anytime you feel stuck. Private students at my music school pay over $200 a month just to get their questions answered. That support is included in your membership. And now you can go at it at your own pace, no pressure, no deadlines. If you need 2 weeks on one lesson, take 2 weeks. And you can try everything risk-free with a 14-day trial. Explore the Spanish guitar course, work through the foundation skills, ask questions in the community. If it's not everything I've promised, just cancel. No questions asked. The link's in the description. Look, I'm not going to tell you this offer expires at midnight. That's just not how I work. This membership is there and it'll be there tomorrow. But here's what I will say. You've already proven you can do this. You learned a complete piece in 5 days. Imagine what you could do with a full system guiding you forward and the ability to ask questions. Imagine having 10 pieces you can play confidently, 20 pieces. That's possible for you. The question isn't whether you're capable. You've already answered that. The question is whether you want to figure this out alone or whether you want some help. Now, whether you join or not, don't let this be the end. You've proven you can learn, and you feel what it's like to play some music. Keep going. If you want me to be your guide, I'd be honored. The link's in the description. Thanks for these 5 days. Now go play that piece for someone you love.